Good morning, my respected head sir, head miss, and all my dear friends and my teacher. So I am going to explain you this paragraph. I have made this paragraph. So first of all, we have to know that what is a paragraph. A paragraph is a graphical representation of data using bars of different heights. These are the bars of different heights, as you can see. So in this paragraph, I am representing the subject liked by the student in a class. So next we have to know that how we can draw a paragraph. So I have drawn a paragraph. So see this line, and these two line perpendicular to each other and meeting at 0. So meeting at 0, and this x-axis is known as horizontal axis and this y-axis is known as vertical axis. So along the horizontal axis, we have to name the bars and we have to make the uniform of the bars and gaps between the bars. So as you can see, this bar name is science, this bar name is maths, this bar name is English, this bar name is Hindi. So there are gaps between the bars. So like this I have made this paragraph, and main point is that we have to make in y-axis we have to make a suitable scale. As you can see, in y-axis we have to make a suitable scale like this: 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So that we can determine the heights of the bar. As we can determine, this bar name is science. As you can see, science is 10 students, maths also 10, English 3, Hindi 2. So like this we have to determine and calculate the heights. As we calculate, like science 10, maths also 10, English 3, Hindi 2. So next we have to know that what is the use of paragraph. So we use paragraph to compare the difference between the bars of different groups. So in this paragraph I am comparing the difference between the groups like science, maths, English. They are different. So in this paragraph is used to differentiate between the bars of different groups. So thank you. This is my model. So have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.
For my respective teachers and my head sir and head miss. So today myself Samim Jawan from class 6C2. Today I am gonna show you my prime number game. So as you can see, this is a game based on prime numbers. So as you can see here, I have written the rules of the game to play the game. So let me read out the rules. For you to play the game. So you have to use and place the prime numbers in the 4 straight lines. By adding all the lines, the sum you should get will be 41. Okay, so here I have written that we have to use and place the prime numbers given below in the solution box. As you can see, there are all the prime numbers here I have kept in this way. So we have to take out the prime numbers from the solution box, and we have to use them to place in the circles, and by adding the prime numbers in a straight line like this straight line, we have to find the sum 41. So we have to add this line, this line, this line, this line. So there are equal 4 lines we have to add, and we have to find all the straight line sum will be 41. So let us begin with the first straight line. So I will put here 5. Then next here I will put 19. So 5 plus 19 equals to 24. So 24 plus 17 equals to, it is 41. It is correct. So we have solved the first straight line. So next we will solve this straight line. So in between this we will put here 30. So after putting here 13, we will put here 23. So 5 plus 13 equals to 18, and 18 plus 23 equals to simple 41. So it is also correct. Now we will solve this line. So it is the third line we will be solving. So here I have put 11. Now add them. 17 plus 13 equals to 30. 30 plus 11 equals to, it is simple, 41. So it is also correct. Now we will solve the last straight line. So here I will put 7. 11 plus 7 equals to 11 plus 7 equals to 18. 18 plus 23 equals to 41. So it is correct. So as you can see, I have solved the game. So it is a nice and interesting and enjoy.
Good evening, Principal Ma'am, Head Sir, teachers, judges and my dear friends. Today I, Darsh Marda of Class 5 have prepared a teaching aid on Indian and international system of numeration along with some shapes with its example. So this is my project. Over here I have drawn some shapes and below the shapes examples are here. Like cylinders examples I have drawn batteries, sphere examples I have drawn ball, etc. Let's come to numeration. I have written place values in international and Indian place value. The international place value system I have written ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. In Indian place value system, I have written ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore, arab, 10 arab, kharab. Suppose we get a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 will be over here, 6 will be over here, 5 will be over here, 4 will be over here, 3 will be over here, 2 will be over here and 1 will be over here. In international place value system, it is said as 1,234,567. Similarly, in Indian place value system, it is said as 12,34,567. If large numbers are there, we can go further in this place value chart. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good morning, my respected head miss, head sir, charisma miss, teachers, judges and all my dear friends. I am Jenny Saharia of class 5 from Modern High Senior Secondary School. Today I am going to present a teaching aid on the topic highest common factor. So this is my project. Here is 10 and here is 6. So I am going to put here 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here 10 and here 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here 10 and 6. So we have to eliminate 10 from 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here 4. So we have to eliminate 4 from 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here 2 and here 4. So we have to eliminate 2 from 4. 10. 1, 2. So here 2 and here 2. So the highest common factor of 10 and 6 is 2. Thank you.
Good morning teachers, myself Manish Kumar Sir of class 10. I have made a project on factorization of quadratic polynomial. Now let me explain the project to you. Now let us understand what is quadratic polynomial. A polynomial in which the degree or highest power of the variable is 2 is called a quadratic polynomial. For example, I have taken x squared plus 4x plus 3, this is a quadratic polynomial because it has the highest power of 2. Let Px be a quadratic polynomial in which Px is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 3. X squared can be written as x into x. So I have made a square with a green color paper where the length of the square is x unit and the breadth of the square is x unit. Now 4x can be written as 1x plus 1x plus 1x plus 1x. Further 1x can be written as 1 into x. So I have made 4 rectangles in which the length of the rectangle is x unit and the breadth of the rectangle is 1 unit. Now 3 can be written as 1 plus 1 plus 1. Further we can write as 1 into 1. So I have made 3 squares in which the length of the square is 1 unit and the breadth of the square is 1 unit. Now I will make a closed figure of rectangle or a square using these cutouts. Let's make it. So I have made a rectangle using these cutouts. As you can see, the length of this rectangle is x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 unit, which is equal to x plus 3 unit. And the breadth of this rectangle is x plus 1 unit, which is equal to x plus 1 unit. Now let's factorize this polynomial by using splitting middle term. The factors of this polynomial are x plus 1 and x plus 3, which is same as the length and breadth of this rectangle, x plus 1 and x plus 3. So in this project, I factorize the quadratic polynomial.
Good morning teachers, myself Jinti Bashar from class 9 of Modern Senior Secondary School. So today I have prepared the working model of Pythagoras theorem, and this is my model of Pythagoras theorem. So to make this model, I have used a piece of cardboard, a fine piece of plastic, few ice cream sticks, chart paper and a marker pen to write over the chart papers, and some beans which I have put in these 2 squares. So my model consists of 3 different squares and the triangle. So we know that the Pythagoras theorem was discovered by the Greek ancient mathematician Pythagoras, which then took the name of Pythagorean theorem. Now in my working model, I have drawn a right angle triangle, and this right angle triangle consists of a right angle. This is the perpendicular, this is the base, and this is the hypotenuse, which is opposite to the triangle. Now A gives the length of this square, B gives the length of this square, and C gives the length of this square. Now A square also gives the area of this square, B square gives the area of this square, and C square gives the area of this square. Now we consider there are beams which are present in these 2 squares, that is the square of length A and square of length B. Now we know that according to Pythagoras theorem, the summation of the squares of the perpendicular and the base is equal to the measure of the hypotenuse in a right angle triangle. Now the beams which are present in these 2 squares will be transferred to this square, and when the beams are transferred from the square of length A and length B to the square of length C, we can see that the beams perfectly fit in the square of length C when transferred from the square of length A and length B. Now this model gives us the idea that the summation of the measure of the squares of the perpendicular and the base is equal to the measure of the hypotenuse, and this was the model forwarded by Pythagoras, and thus we can say that A square plus B square is equal to C square. A square gives the area of this square and B square gives the area of this square, and when we do the summation of the square of this 2 square, then we can find the exact measure of this square. Thank you.
Good evening, Principal Ma'am, Head Sir, Charisma Miss, teachers and fellow judges. This is Pinatik Sharma of Class 12 Science, and today I am here to represent a technical aid model on 3-dimensional geometry. So this is my model, which is a 3-dimensional geometry. It contains 8 octants. First, second, third, fourth, and similarly same 4 octants are there behind it. So if we observe the first octant, this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis, and this is my z-axis. So if we take a point 6 in x-axis, then the points or the coordinates will be 6, 0, 0. In y-axis it will be 0, 6, 0, and in z-axis it will be 0, 0, 6. So let us assume and take this cuboid. Let us find the coordinate of the point P, which is the vertex of this cuboid. As you can see, in x-axis it's 5 cm, in y-axis it's 1 cm, and in z-axis it's 4 cm. So we can observe that the coordinates will be 5, 1, 4. Thank you.
Good evening, respected Principal Ma'am, Head Sir, teachers, judges, and all my dear friends. Today myself, Drishti Marda of Class 8, have prepared a maths project regarding squares. Now, what is a square? If a natural number m can be represented as or can be expressed as n to the power of 2 or n square, where n is also a natural number, then m is a square number. So let us understand it more clearly. So here I have taken 1 square or 1 to the power of 2, which is equal to 1. So as I have stated, n square, that means 1 to the power of 2 or 1 square, and m, which is also a natural number, it is 1. As we all know, natural numbers are the first 10 natural numbers, that means numbers up to 1 to 10. So these are called natural numbers. So here 1 is also a natural number and the square number of 1 is 1. So this 1 is also a natural number. So let us understand it more clearly how to find the square numbers of other natural numbers by taking another example. So here I have taken 2 to the power of 2 or 2 square, which is equal to 4. That means the square number of 2 square is 4. Now how we can find the number of squares? So the number of squares can be found by multiplying the taken number or the given number by itself. That means 2 into 2 is equal to 4. Hence the square number of 2 square is 4. Now I want to tell you some facts about square numbers. No square number ends with numbers like 2, 3, 7 and 8 and odd number zeros. Now what do you mean by odd number of zeros? Odd number of zeros means the zeros are in the number of like 3. So there are 3 zeros, then they are odd numbers. The odd number zeros are that numbers where 3 zeros are there or 5 zeros are there, etc, etc. So now what the second fact is, square of odd number is always odd. So let's take another example. So as we all know, 3 is odd numbers or odd number. The square of 3 is 9, which is also an odd number. So here we can prove that square of odd number is always odd and square of even number is always even. So let us take one more example. Like here we have 4 square. That means the square of 4, the square number of 4 is 16. So 4 is an even number and 16 is also an even number. So hence we can say that square of even number is always even. So hope you like my project. Thank you.